What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the home of the Money Minute. Chad here, and I'm here to bring you a new video about beginner cards for those trying to break into the points and miles game. Now, here's the thing. Normally, people have cards that provide them all sorts of rewards, but in the mix of things, you don't really have a lot of time to pay attention to it. I know I've had cards for years that have provided me with rewards that I really didn't pay attention to. As a matter of fact, I've had my Chase Freedom Unlimited since like 2017 before I really realized what the power of points and miles and cash back and UR points versus MR points versus other proprietary currencies that you can earn via the use of a credit card. I had no idea what that meant. I was just using the card. It is what it is. Great. So now here, I'm actually going to break down a few cards that are actually great for the beginner. But before I do, I just want to ask that you please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We definitely want to get this video out in front of as many people as possible, and hopefully some people can find some use for it. And I definitely want to provide you as much value as I possibly can. Sometimes we all get into a position where we get super excited about a new thing. We get excited about something that we definitely want to pursue, and we want to influence the people around us, especially the people who we care about, to get excited about it as well, especially when we think that it's something beneficial. Now, another reason that I'm making this video is that a lot of the times there are couples, sometimes there are friends who are trying to really convince other people that they are in close contact with that, hey, getting a return on your money is great. You know, exploiting some of the redemption values of transferable currency, it can really help you do a lot of things that you may not have even thought were possible because you're only thinking about paying for things straight up with cash. The best part is that you also want to convince them that in addition to all of this, it is okay to have responsible credit habits, use credit, and realize that it's not the same as cash, that you can continue to do all of these things and not get yourself into crushing debt. So this is why we definitely want to expose beginners to some of these cards, because it's something that can get them into the flow of not having to worry about specific spending categories. And then in addition to that, they too can earn these rewards and they can see the concrete value in some of these cards I'm going to name. And of course, as always, I'm going to include an honorable mention section so that way I don't have the video super long, but I get you enough for you to work with. And maybe you can convince somebody to get in the game with the rest of us. In addition to everything that I mentioned, all of these cards are going to be no annual fee cards because we really don't want to scare the person off by thinking that, you know, an expense is attached to it. Also, these are cards that I'm not going to give them in any specific order, but for the most part, they're fairly easy to get, and I'm trying to make redemption of the points as easy as possible. Some of them may be transferred, but without further ado, here we go. The very first card on the list is going to be the Wells Fargo Active Cash. Now, this card is a great card. I think it's a great card, especially as a cashback card, because it's blanket 2% on all purchases, period. So that's 2% back, regardless of whether you're going to the grocery store, a restaurant, the movies, a concert, you're paying a ticket, you're paying your taxes. It doesn't matter. It's 2% blanket. That's it. Now, as I mentioned before, there's no annual fee. Wells Fargo is a recognizable bank, and this card is a Visa signature card, so you know its acceptance is fairly assured. And in addition to that, the redemption for the Wells Fargo Active Cash is super easy, even to the point that you can actually take your Wells Fargo Active Cash, and as long as you have cash back in increments of $20, you can actually redeem it right at a Wells Fargo ATM. It just doesn't get any faster than that. Most cards do offer a balance credit to your credit card, or even a transfer into your bank account, provided you have a banking relationship with them, but you can actually just get cash straight out of the ATM with this card. Now, the sign up bonus is that you get $200 back as long as you make $1,000 worth of purchases, qualified purchases, in the first 90 days of having the card. Now, the second card that we're going to get into, the second of our 5-card lineup, is going to be the Apple Card. Now, the Apple Card is actually a MasterCard provided by Goldman Sachs, but of course it's stamped with the Apple name. Now, don't get me wrong. Its redemption, its earning capabilities are a little weird to me, provided the actual card that they send you, because the physical card is actually a titanium card, which is really nice. But there's a caveat to that, is that if you slide said nice titanium card, you actually earn the lowest percentage that you possibly can on this card. But that notwithstanding, it's actually a really easy card for people to get into the idea of points and miles. First and foremost, no annual fee, no fees at all, period. That's not my words. That's coming straight from the Apple website. There are no fees, no late fees, no foreign transaction fees, period. So this actually puts this above the Wells Fargo, the previous card that I covered, where they actually do have foreign transaction fees. But with the Apple Card, the caveat to that is that Apple wants you to use their card with Apple Pay. So it's 1%. If you slide the card, the physical card, it's only 1% cash back. If you use Apple Pay, which they want you to use, that's going to be 2% cash back, regardless of where you use it, as long as they accept Apple Pay. But the super bonus is that you actually get 3% cash back if you use Apple Pay at select retailers, such as Nike, T-Mobile, Apple, of course, Panera Bread, Walgreens, and that is a drugstore, and that's actually going to match the next card that we're going to talk about. But one of the ease of use things, just like with the Wells Fargo card, is that when you use the Apple Card and they give you your cash back, that cash back is available within a day. You don't have to wait until the end of your billing cycle to tally it up to see how much that you've got. Once you have the Apple Card stored to your Apple account and you start using it, there's also an Apple Cash account that starts building up, and that's where your cash back goes. And you can actually use that in an Apple Pay capacity to simply pay cash for things. It's cash that you have accrued. So to recap, it's 1% if you slide the card, 2% if you use Apple Pay, and 3% at select retailers. Super easy to use, no fees. You get a cool card that you probably don't want to use, and you can take it worldwide just in case you want to slide it in your bag if you want to go somewhere. And it is a MasterCard, so just like Visa, they are two of the most accepted cards on the planet. Now, here we have our third card, and it's a strong card. It's a card I like. It's a card that I've had for years, and it is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Now, this card is, it's just a mainstay. Once you have it, you'll understand why. There are no annual fees for the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and it earns a blanket 1.5% minimum or 1.5x on every dollar that you spend, regardless of the purchase. But it actually earns 3x, aka 3% back, on drugstore purchases like Walgreens, CVS, and whatnot. And also with dining, whether that be restaurant or takeout. And then it also earns 5% back when you book travel through the Chase Travel Portal. Those are the multipliers. Normally with most of these cards, I try to keep it down to basically a catch-all type of card. But with some of these cards that have multiple categories, it actually is like a bonus to new people who spend and they get a little bump in points. But all of that aside, this is a great card. It's a part of the very famous Chase trifecta, or most trifectas that people use. Now, it doesn't earn straight cash back. It does earn in the form of UR points. Now, Chase is one of the largest banks out there. They are just totally in the game, period. So you have the might of the Chase infrastructure behind you. Now, their UR points are transferable if you have a Sapphire card, but that will be for another day. But as of right now, even if you don't have a Sapphire card, you can still use their points to shop at the Chase portal. You can still use points to get statement credits and actually transfer money to your account. So they are useful in that sense. And the ease of redemption is very easy because Chase has a very stable platform and a very intuitive interface that you can use in order to transfer those points. Now, the sign-up bonus for your Chase card is going to be $200 cash back after $500 to spend in the first 90 days. And as of this filming, in addition to that, the Chase Freedom Unlimited will give you 5% cash back on all gas purchases up to $6,000 worth of spend. This one's pretty much a no-brainer. There are foreign transaction fees of 3% should you decide to take this card out of the country. I probably wouldn't, but it's still bulletproof card, and you're actually going to be hard pressed to find anyone who's really serious about points and miles and cash back that doesn't have or has not had this card in their arsenal. Now, on number 4 card. Now everybody knows I'm an Amex guy. So you know this list wouldn't be complete without an Amex card. And that Amex card that I'm going to be giving you today is the Amex Everyday card. Now, with the Amex Everyday card, it earns MR points. That's American Express transferable currency. Amex MR points, you've heard them before, you've heard them on this channel before. That is how you get your earnings from the Everyday card. Now, Amex points are fully transferable through the Amex platform. You can transfer to transfer partners. You can use them to buy gift cards, cash redemptions, which are pretty low. But for the sake of the video, the fact is we want to talk about ease of redemption. We'll get into earning values later when we get into intermediate and pro level cards. But the Everyday card earns MR points, which is fantastic. That is definitely what we want. And the earning categories are very simple. You get 2x back on groceries and 1x on everything else. Again, there's no annual fee for this card. The card does have 2.7% foreign transaction fees, so you don't want to take it on any international travel because you don't want to pay those extra fees. The sign-on bonus from this card is 10,000 Amex MR points for $2,000 worth of spend in 6 months, which is super duper easy. I bet you I probably have friends who drive cars that will drink that much in gas in 6 months. So it's a pretty easy sign-up bonus to hit. You get the MR points, and now here's a special deal with that. If you use this card, if you physically slide this card 20 times in a month, you get a 20% points boost. And with that points boost, that means that after the 20th time you slide that card, the multipliers now change. You now have 1.2 MR points for every dollar that you spend on all non-grocery purchases, and your grocery purchases go up to 2.4x back. So that's just free money on the table, and you know we don't leave any money on the table here. Now, the final card, and also another card that I've actually held for over 20 years. I had this card, I think I got it back when I was 19 or probably 18. But I've had this card forever, and it has not left my wallet. I've maintained a great relationship with the company via this card, and that is the Discover It card. Back when I got it, of course, it wasn't Discover It. It was just a Discover It, but I'm a dinosaur. What can I say? Firstly, there's no annual fee. And beyond that, you get 1% cash back for all purchases. Now, I know 1% isn't that great, But for a card with no annual fee, it also sweetens the pot by giving you rotating 5% categories, 5% quarterly categories, meaning that you can earn a maximum of $75 for $1,500 worth of spend in each category that Discover offers. Now, they actually send you an email and you have to activate these rotating categories via the website or your app or however you choose to interface with it. But these cashback credits do not expire. Now, there are no foreign transaction fees, but the problem is Discover may not be as widely accepted as a Visa or a MasterCard internationally. Now, the sign up for this is actually not really a sign up bonus per se, but you do get 0% introductory APR for the first 15 months. And in addition to that, any cashback that you earn in your first year, Discover will match that at the end of the year. Now, I know it was kind of a lackluster multiplier for the Discover It card, but you have to understand it's actually one of the easier cards to get by and large, and it can really introduce people into seeing a concrete return, and it's easy to use. So that's why it made the list. It's actually a card I still hold in addition to the many cards that I hold, but that is for now the main 5 that I am going to present to you as easy cards to start your cashback points and miles journey. Now, please feel free in the comments below to add any cards that you think I may have missed, because we're going to be getting to the honorable mention section as well, because I want to cover those as well. I definitely want to include those, and I love the interaction as always. All right, now it's time for our honorable mention section. Now I'm going to include a couple of cards here. I won't go into as much detail, so we're kind of going to fly through these, but I definitely want them to be included. You may want to do some research on them. Our first honorable mention card is going to be the Bank of America Travel Rewards card. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is that it has 0 annual fee, and it's going to be a blanket 1.5x back on every dollar that you spend that can be redeemed for travel and dining purchases. That's how their card works. There's 0 annual fee. And of course, there's a sign up bonus, but I'll let you go ahead and research that. My second honorable mention card is going to be the Capital One Quicksilver card. Like the Bank of America card, this is going to be a blanket 1.5% cash back card as well, with 0 fees, period. Capital One has a robust online presence, and this is a great card to shove in your back pocket if you need to travel. Our next honorable mention is going to be the Navy Federal Cash Rewards card. Now, this card actually has a pretty great multiplier for a no annual fee card with no other fees at 1.75% back for every dollar that you spend. It's a great multiplier, and it's a great set it and forget it card where you can earn tangible rewards pretty quickly. Another great card that is worthy of honorable mention is the Amazon Prime Rewards Signature Visa. Now, I have that card, and it is fantastic, and I will link a video that I made about the card right up here that you can definitely check out. You get, as a quick thing, you get access to Chase offers. I recently had 10x back at McDonald's. You get 5% off all your Amazon purchases. There are additional multipliers here, but they were covered in my last video. There are no annual transaction fees. And once again, it is a Visa signature card, so it will be widely accepted, but it's definitely a great card to get started with earning points back that you can see and redeem very quickly. Another great card worth mentioning is the US Bank Cash Plus Signature Visa. This card actually allows you to earn 5% back on 2 categories of your choosing. You also get 2% back on one everyday category and 1% back on all other purchases. And finally, the last honorable mention card we have is the Citi Double Cash World Elite MasterCard. Now, I've been hearing great things about this card, and how this card works is that you actually get 1% for all purchases, no caps, period whatsoever. You get 1% when you make the purchase, and then you get another percent when you pay the purchase off, making this a 2% card. And it also incentivizes you, A, to not carry a balance, and B, pay off your balances as soon as humanly possible if for some god awful reason you do have one. And that way you actually maximize your money back as you pay the bill. It's a great card. As a World Elite MasterCard, you can guarantee acceptance at most retailers, at most vendors, period. And that's why it is made my honorable mention list. Now, once again, I know I may have missed some cards, and I know some people are probably watching and wondering why I didn't mention certain cards over others. By all means, please leave them in the comments. Once again, I love the interaction, and maybe that'll give me some ideas to do some other videos to get things out there and do some homework on some other cards that people may want to know about. And also, if you've gotten some value from this video, first of all, if you've watched all the way to this point, thank you so much. It is greatly appreciated. Please don't forget to leave a like. Please don't forget to leave, once again, a comment. I love to hammer that home. And I hope that this video has helped somebody who may have been on the edge, not knowing which card to get first. I hope that this is giving you some guidance and some value as to which one you may want to choose in order to get into this life, because trust me, it's great. And the first time you can redeem these rewards and or cash back or some of these currencies to do things that you otherwise normally wouldn't do with cash out of your pocket, it is a fantastic feeling. And that's not even including a lot of the benefits that some of these cards have to offer. And some of them, even some of the non-annual fee cards, really offer some great stuff like cell phone protection, which is rare for a non-annual fee card. Just to give you an example, others provide concierge service, others provides access to luxury hotels. I mean, obviously, if you're just starting out, you're probably not going to be booking those, but it is a great thing to know that you have. But this is just me wrapping up the video. Once again, thank you so much if you stuck all the way to the end. And until next time, take it easy.